Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about what my personal crypto portfolio looks like. So I got this whiteboard behind me because I'm going to write down percentages and give you guys full transparency into what my portfolio looks like, how that portfolio came to be, why it still looks like that, and just kind of talk about it. Yesterday I did a video where I talked about what I think is the best crypto portfolio for 2019, and I actually do think that video holds true. Now what you'll see in this video is my portfolio does not look like the portfolio that I described in yesterday's video, but first of all I want to start by saying none of this is financial advice, right? And I kind of got into the crypto asset space early 2017, and I have been in the rabbit hole ever since. I've been learning a lot. I've been diving into, just consuming as much as I can to learn. And so for me to have evolved from 2017 to 2019 and hold the position that I, actually put out in the video yesterday, that belief came from a lot of failure, a lot of learning, a lot of trial and error. And just because I'm in a certain position doesn't actually mean that if I were to be a fiduciary, I wouldn't actually give a different recommendation. And whenever I do talk to my friends and family about this asset class, I still actually do hold the exact same recommendation to all of them that I talked about in that last video. So I do believe that's true, but this video I'm going to talk about what my portfolio looks like and how that portfolio came to be. And I'm going to break this down into basically 3 or 4 different categories, right? The first holding, and I looked at this yesterday, the percentages are going to be rough, but it's about accurate. My largest holding is Bitcoin. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but about 70% is in Bitcoin of my investment. And that was not always the case. Whenever I first started off, I actually started, well, I'm not going to get into that. No, will I? I will. I actually my first ever crypto was Ripple. And I bought Ripple when it was 17 cents. And then towards the end of 2017, Ripple went up to close to $3. I sold the top. And I used a lot of those proceeds to buy a lot of altcoins or shitcoins. I kept my initial investment and was happy with that. And then I used the extra money I had made, the profits I had made and I reinvested. And I bought a lot of different coins. And since then, I've continued to invest in this space. And Bitcoin was not actually a coin that I bought in the very beginning. Bitcoin was at $20,000. It was coming off at $20,000. And I had a lot of misconceptions, had a lot of preconceived notions, and honestly, I was looking for the maximum gain. I wanted to make another 1000x like I had just done with Ripple. And so I was buying a lot of these altcoins. Now, I sold some of these altcoins at different points in this journey, right? So I do still hold some of these altcoins. The reality is that I wish I didn't hold them. Most of them have seen their value drop 90 to 95%. And this has been a tough lesson and a lesson learned. And I'm glad that I learned this lesson early on in my investment career. And maybe I'll make a video about sort of that kind of stuff a little bit later. But the key takeaway is that I didn't know what I was getting into. And I also didn't have a good strategy in terms of timing the market, right? And making sure you're getting the most for your buck. And I'm happy that I was able to learn this lesson at age 23, 24, because I don't have kids, I don't have a family. I was young in my investment, sort of journey, and it was a good lesson to learn. Obviously wish that I wouldn't have made that mistake, because who doesn't like to have more money, but so it goes. And so 70% of my crypto portfolio today is in Bitcoin. And the reason that I actually have a 30% gap of things that are not Bitcoin is because in part of those early bad decisions I made. So let's move on, right? From this, I would say about another 20% is what I'm going to call premium altcoins. And this is, I didn't make up this term. Terrible handwriting. And people have different views about what premium altcoins are. I made a video where I talked about basically the 5 best crypto projects objectively. And at that time I said that the best crypto projects were Bitcoin, Ethereum, Zcash, Decred, and Monero. To this very day, I still believe that those are the 5 best objective projects, although actually Ethereum might be taken off the list. But the point is that I do believe that some of these altcoins are seen as premium alts for a variety of different reasons. Maybe because they have maybe their supply mimics Bitcoin, or they have very strong development teams, or they have a use case, or they're actively being used, right? And so I kind of had this thesis early on that because of Bitcoin's transparency, privacy was going to be another like really big sphere. And I started off with Monero, and I was buying a lot of Monero, and then I pivoted to Zcash because I liked zero knowledge proofs, and I thought that some of the tech in that area was a little bit stronger than the privacy afforded by Monero. And maybe a video for another time where I talk about the difference between Monero and Zcash. But I was putting a lot of money into privacy-focused coins, and so another 20% of my holdings to date are distributed between Monero, Zcash, and Decred. And they make up, I said 30%, I'm sorry, they make up about 20%. I'm not going to let you guys know exactly what the distribution is between those 3, but what I will say is that at this time in the investment space and in the life cycle of cryptocurrency, the only one of those 3 that I actively put money into at this point is Decred. I don't put money into Monero or Zcash, and again, a video for another time. But the remaining 10% is in, I'm just going to call them shitcoins, because really that's what they are in my opinion. And I don't even think these coins are worth messing around with. I'm not going to talk about projects in particular, and you can't even see them in the way. I'm not going to talk about what projects they are because I don't like bashing projects unnecessarily, but I do hold another 10% in some of these altcoins that I'm very excited to let go, and I'm hoping to be able to just get my money back in this next pump. If that doesn't happen, whenever that happens, if it happens, right? Like, I've also already just kind of taken the L. I just took that one on the chin. Luckily enough, I put in money that I was willing to lose. A lot of those coins, like I said, they've dropped 90, 95%. I'm not going to put any more money into them. It's just not worth it to me. I don't really believe in a lot of those projects anymore. And I'll be happy if during this next pump, I get to sell them at the price that I bought them in at. I'll be very happy with that. And yeah, I still, I just did this for transparency because I don't want people to like later on in my history go back and try to say, oh, like you were trying to be a Bitcoin maximalist and you weren't really, or da 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 da. I just full transparency, right? Like this is where I am at. Today is February 4th, and that's exactly where I stand in my portfolio. Of the money I put in at this time, 90% of it's going towards Bitcoin, and 10, 15%, maybe 20% is going towards Decred. And so that's where it is. That's where I'm at. If you guys have thoughts or questions, please drop them below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you guys think about my portfolio. And if you guys have any questions, follow me on Twitter. I'm trying to grow my audience there. It's @elima_III. Also follow me on Instagram. I don't post a lot, but I do a lot of Instagram stories. So you can look forward to those. It's @elima_III. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Subscribe to my channel and like this video because it really helps me out. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.